Hi all, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm sharing 20 tips for Avowed. If you have any tips of your own, drop them in the comments. As always, I don't like to waste your time, so let's jump straight in. Tip 1. Crowd control is essential. It lets you take out enemies one at a time, making fights way more manageable. Staggering or slowing down enemies gives you full control over the battlefield, making even tough encounters easier. Tip 2. Focus on healers first, then archers. Healers are obvious, but archers can be sneaky, dealing damage before you even realize it. If you let them live too long, they'll keep chipping away at your health while you're distracted by melee enemies. Tip 3. Cook at camp. Food buffs can be surprisingly strong and make your journey a lot easier. Some meals provide long-lasting benefits like increased stamina regeneration, which is a huge advantage. Tip 4. If you're struggling, go back to camp and upgrade your gear. Sometimes, a small upgrade can make a huge difference. Even one upgrade early on can give a massive damage boost. Tip 5. Enemies have stun meters. Filling them triggers a special attack that deals massive damage. If you focus on stunning a tough enemy first, you can end the fight much faster. Tip 6. Use your companion's skills as often as possible. They deal way more damage than their basic attacks. Some abilities also provide utility, like knocking enemies down or inflicting status effects. Tip 7. Don't explore too much until you have two companions. It makes fights and survival much easier. Many enemies are balanced for group combat, so having backup will prevent unnecessary deaths. Tip 8. Start big fights with a stealth attack. It's basically free damage before combat even starts. You can also use it to take out weaker enemies instantly, making the fight easier before it even begins. Tip 9. Collect everything you find. Crafting and upgrading are expensive, and you'll need every resource you can get. Even if you don't craft right away, stockpiling materials ensures you're ready when you do. Tip 10. Dismantle your old gear. It provides valuable materials instead of just selling for gold. Vendors don't always have the best gear, but crafting can give you top-tier upgrades if you have the right resources. Tip 11. Don't forget grenades. Even if you don't use them in combat, they can blow up walls to reveal hidden areas. Some puzzles or secret areas require explosives, so keeping a few on hand is always useful. Tip 12. You're not locked into one class. Mix and match skills from different classes for better efficiency. Some class abilities work extremely well together, allowing you to create powerful hybrid builds. Tip 13. Exploration is vertical. Look up. You'll find hidden paths, chests, and other valuable loot. Many areas have multiple layers, so climbing or jumping to hard-to-reach places often rewards you with rare items. Tip 14. Elemental damage and resistances matter. Pay attention to enemy weaknesses and switch elements accordingly. Some enemies take almost no damage from physical attacks, making elemental weapons or spells necessary. Tip 15. Early game gold is scarce. Don't waste it on unnecessary purchases. Vendors restock with better gear after major story beats, so saving gold lets you buy more powerful upgrades later. Tip 16. Perception is the best dialogue stat. It unlocks more options and helps drive conversations forward. Many quests have extra rewards or alternate endings if you have high perception. Tip 17. Poison and bleed stack, even on bosses. Great for dealing long-term damage in tough fights. If you're struggling with high health enemies, stacking damage over time effects can make fights much easier. Tip 18. Check vendors after major story beats. That's usually when they restock with better gear. If you're stuck on a tough enemy, buying newly stocked weapons or armor can give you the edge you need. Tip 19. Use interrupt abilities to cancel healing. Stopping an enemy's heal can turn the tide of a battle. Even if you're not focusing on a healer, interrupting them mid-cast prevents them from extending the fight. Tip 20. Talk to your companions often. Some conversations unlock special events, like early on when training with Kai gives you free attribute points. Those were my 20 tips for Avowed. If you like these short but helpful videos, please consider liking and subscribing. Regardless, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.